Mr. Curtogram, number 11. How's it going, mate?
Good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good. So last week we did a pretty deep and meaningful one. We went on a little bit of a journey. I think we bonded a little bit as well. This time I want to do the opposite. I just want to kind of shoot the shit a little bit. I've just got a few sort of random things that have been going on, and I wanted to keep it a bit light and fluffy just to balance it out a bit. You cool with that?
Yeah. I can talk for hours. You just need to just to start it. Yeah.
Get the ball rolling. All right, let's jump straight in. First thing I wanted to mention, I suppose, is because it's on the desk here with me, is because you mentioned Blurb. We talked about photo books or zines.
Yes. Yeah.
I did a shoot for a barber friend. I've mentioned it in the past, and I'm going to surprise him with a little book of the shots and get his reaction and have that in the end of the video. So I thought I'd give Blurb a try, and jumped on there, downloaded their software, made a little book. I wanted to do a soft cover because I wanted to feel more like a magazine than like a wedding album or something like that.
Hard cover. Yeah.
Yeah, and mixed reviews. Honestly, it arrived today. I think that the actual photo quality is really good. Like, I'm really happy with the way the prints look. But the package arrived and it was open already. I don't know if it was sealed poorly or if Australia Post opened it up, but it arrived like this. And there was no cardboard. There was nothing stiff inside it. So I don't know if you can see. I don't know if you can see on camera, but it's got like these creases and stuff on it, and it's like kind of squashed.
No way.
Like scuffed on the sides. I'm a little bit upset about it, but the photos themselves, they look great, and I'm gonna see if I can like reach out to them on Twitter or Instagram and whatever, because I'm not the sort of person to leave a bad review. But if I'm going to talk about it in a video, I want to be honest, and I want to give them a chance to, see what the customer service is like. If it's opened by Australia Post, obviously they can't control that. But it could have been packed so much better. Like there's got to be something in there to keep it rigid, and they've got to have something on the outside that says "Do not bend." That's pretty standard when you order prints.
Yeah, we order a few art prints. And I feel like you have to have something more rigid in there. It's a piece of art. I feel like, and then that's also weird. Excuse me. It's weird that there's that it was open like that. That's open. Like I don't.
Like, I don't know if they just didn't seal it properly, because there's like glue underneath one of the flaps, but there's like a little bit of like double-sided tape on the top flap. Again, if Australia Post wants to open it, like they can't control that, but it was just packed really poorly. And, I understand everyone's busy, but it wasn't a good first impression, put it that way.
No, but what about the online software? Was it easy to use? Was it the template's good enough? Is there an actual restriction on how, like, the resolution or the file size that you can drop in?
I think it was big. I can't remember exactly, but it was big. It might have been like 50 meg or 60 meg or something per file.
Yeah, wow.
And you don't need
That's cool.
You don't need more than that. And it was pretty easy. Like, I don't have that much design experience, but I know what I like, and it was easy enough to just drag and drop everything, and they have the little borders that show you where the picture's going to be cut off and all that. So
yeah.
I want to reach out to them and give them a chance to just rectify. I'm not looking for freebies, or I'm not even looking for a sorry. I just want to know if this is normal, if this is something that I should expect.
A common procedure.
Yeah, because, I would love to start a relationship with them, and I would love to, make this a little thing. I do a video, do a shoot, and at the end present the person a little book. Yeah. I think that'd be so cool. And like I said, I'm really happy with the way the actual photos look. They look fantastic.
Yeah.
The prints, the colors are pretty true to my screen at least. And the funny thing is, we can talk about this as well. I've had a bit of trouble with this screen. I've got this LG monitor, and it's one of the USB-C ones. I'm not sure if you've seen them before, but they have this range that is pretty much made for the MacBook.
For
They're not the
Apple.
one.
Yeah.
They're not the ones that Apple sell, but they're pretty much made.
Okay.
They're like around, let's say, they might be like the $800 to $1,000 mark. 4K monitor, USB-C, no crazy features, but good looking monitor. And one cable into the computer is all you need for everything.
Yeah, awesome.
It's great. Having said that, I've never quite got the colors right to where I'm happy with them. I've tried, Jared has a X-Rite color checker calibrator. Wasn't quite happy with that. I've tried many different times with that. And I also recently bought a Spider X, I think it is, Spider X Pro. I can never get the colors right because it will look fantastic on the screen, and then I'll check it on my iPhone or MacBook and it will just be way off. It'll be so wrong. The screen always looks too warm, which is dangerous because I like to edit warm. Anyway, what I'm sort of getting at is I decided I'm going to reset it all to factory settings, which is like,
and just go,
which is sacrilegious, to any sort of real print or photographer, anyone that sort of knows their shit. But I have to say, I'm way happier with how everything looks. And
so you did actually reset it?
I reset it to the stock color straight out of the box.
Yeah. Wow.
And I have to say, I edited these photos on it and they came out exactly the same way on the page. So I don't know what that says. Does that say that LG monitors are just good out of the box, or does that mean that I had calibrated it wrong?
I don't think you can calibrate it wrong. I just think sometimes, the lighting situation, because with those calibrators, they take in the ambient or whatever. So, if you calibrate in the morning compared to the afternoon, the light might be different in your room but this in the background here, I have a TV that I have mounted, which links up, via just one cable to the laptop, and I edit on those two. And what I did was I've calibrated them as well, but it's similar. But dude, like actually using the TV as a reference monitor is almost too good. Like, it gives you this false reading that you've graded it way better than you actually have, because it adds so much like micro contrast and sharpening as well. So when I'm doing wedding videos and stuff, like, man, it looks magic, and then I'll have to quickly flip it back down to the monitor on my laptop, and then I'm like, I need to really grade it a lot heavier to get that. Or for me, to what I want to get out of it. So, but it's such a good reference monitor because it's so large. I can edit. I don't need it for photo editing, but it's good for Photoshop or just Premiere, because I can see my whole timeline, or I can zoom in a lot closer. I really enjoy it, and it was an older TV that I bought for like $500. Probably 6 years ago, or maybe longer, 8 years. Maybe it's 8 years old.
Yeah, right.
But because I've just calibrated it, it's just, I love it. And I've always thought about getting an LG or whatever, but they're just not going to be big enough. Whereas that's like 55 inch or something.
Yeah, right.
So it's, so I just love that I've Jimmy rigged it up on the wall, and it's a great reference monitor.
So basically you do the bulk of the work on the MacBook, and then you just use the other one when you need to check them or when you need more space for something. Is that fair to say?
No. So I'll do the bulk of the work because I'm actually used to, I know the output, like what it needs to look like on the actual TV now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
so
know
then
what shift to make.
I kind of know exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I know that it'll be. So then, yeah, I can just drag it down and quickly check and then drag it back up and keep editing.
Yeah, cool. Speaking of editing, I am pretty much ready to leave Lightroom behind.
Wow.
So Kurt and I, outside of the podcast, have spoken about this a little bit, and we both picked up some of the Maston Labs presets to just basically, well, to learn from, to look at what they're doing. Because have you ever tried the actual the Phase 1 brand Capture One styles? Have you tried any of the ones that come with Capture One?
Yep. Yeah, when I first got it, I got the seasonal pack or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And it was too affected. Like, it's like
there's a color cast on everything.
It color casts because it's like even when you turn the split toning kind of stuff off, there's still cast everywhere, and I'm like, I can't have that color cast. It's like, yeah, they look terrible.
I don't know who they're for, and I don't know, when I see those and I see the sort of images that they're used on, like when they're displayed on the website or whatever, I'm thinking, maybe it's because I'm not shooting in the studio like that shot was taken, or maybe I haven't shot something at golden hour like that shot was taken. But
yeah,
I've tried 3 or 4 of the different Capture One style packs now. There's a cinematic, there's a film, there's I think there's a spring pack that comes stock in Capture One. That actually has 1 or 2 semi-okay ones. I've had a little bit of success using those and deconstructing those. But I have to say, these Maston Labs guys, they have it figured out. I don't know. Have you had a chance to use them much?
Yeah. I have. I played around, and maybe because I've had a bit more time with Capture One, I just felt like I've created something that was like, I'll actually send you what I created so you can have a look.
Yeah.
Just at the preset that I've made. And it was not even using any knowledge of Capture One, but just picking and sliding and adding grain and all that kind of stuff. Just that's what I mean. I think your eyes are your best friend when trying to create these presets. So for me, I used the Maston Labs one, and I was like, I was so excited, and I went through the little process that you can do.
Yeah.
And I feel like I just wasn't getting what I wanted.
Okay.
So then that's when I just clicked back on a preset that I'd made a month ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is my starting point. Like,
Got it.
I'll send it through to you, and just have a look. Yeah.
So the main thing that I wanted to get out of it was, I have never figured out, like I could, in Lightroom, I could start from scratch on the first image if I wanted to. By my peak using Lightroom, which is before I started working for Jared, because I used to use exclusively Lightroom then, and I feel like I had a really good handle on it. I could start from scratch, whip up an edit, and then I could use that edit for 10 different shoots in the future. Or, I could use that edit, apply it across most of the session with little tweaks and be very, very happy with it. But I've never been able to figure out how to do that in Capture One, because in my opinion, the color grading settings that they offer, while there is a lot of control, there's something about the way that they process or the way that they render, and I have just never been able to create something that will transfer across lots and lots of different shoots. I don't know why. I've never been able to figure that out. And even if I just try and keep it simple and I just try and do a curves adjustment, I'll just shift a few of the colors slightly, because my favorite look has always been like deep tones and warm tones. I like both of those things in an image, and I like things to look very clean. I don't often like too much of a style. Yeah. But I've never been able to get that to transfer across. Whereas the Maston Labs, the way they set it out, like you said, it's a little system. They have film stock, then they have white balance, which I tend to not touch actually, because I didn't really like their white balance settings. But then they have the tones, which is basically will just like soften off the highlights, soften off the shadows, or both, or whatever. And then what was the last one? Grain, I think it was.
Grain, yeah.
Yeah, and I just really like how they have laid it out in a system like that. I thought I've been trying out the portrait pack. I thought that does skin really well, and I'm yet to go too deep into the actual in Capture One. I think they call it Advanced Color Editor, which will actually show you all the shifts in the different colors. But it's really interesting to look at, to basically start with a blank image and just pick the grain option and just see what they're doing. The medium format grain, they call it, is using something called tabular grain, which is something that I've never explored before. That's something I'm going to need to look up. Like, what does tabular grain mean?
Exactly,
Why is that a medium format look and the fine grain is the 35mm look? So I have already learned a lot, and I'm keen to get my hands on some more. I'd be very happy to try out a black and white pack or a Fuji pack or whatever. And to be honest, it's finally, I think, pushed me over the edge, and I'd be very happy to leave Lightroom now.
See, for me, on all the commercial stuff I do, it's always Capture One. There's no question about it. But for a lot of the batch stuff, or even weddings, it's like, I feel like with Lightroom, I've created a preset or a look that I can really apply over any scene, any day, anywhere, and just tweak it slightly.
Yeah.
Whereas with Capture One, I actually struggled to COVID cough. So I've struggled even to keep a grade for the same day, even just a different scene.
100%.
So for me, I went back last week and just re-edited some stuff that I shot in America a couple of years ago, and it was, I'd got this grade that I've been like, this looks great, and then I went to reapply it to an image taken a couple of holes later, and I was like, this looks shit house. It's not any good, and for me, I guess it's just more trying to learn how to make it more usable, broad, like I'd say outdoor photography. Whereas for all studio stuff, man, I'm like, I know exactly where to click. I know exactly how to, I never really save presets because I use it every single day. So I know what I need to do to make it look how I need it to. And as you said, like, I feel like the more that I further my career, the less I technically edit the photo. It's like, I want it to look, not even enhanced wouldn't even be the right word, but it's just to stuff to look cleaner. And it does. I don't want it to be stylized and affected like the presets that your Capture One offer. It's like they're really heavily stylized and color cast. So for anyone working in a professional environment, you can't have that color cast. Like it's the colors need to be accurate, or it needs to be a commercial kind of grade, right?
Like an editorial sort of
exactly.
Like a specific look for a specific thing.
Yeah.
I just don't know who they're for, those styles. Like, I've never heard anyone rave about them. I've never, seriously, and it's not like they're cheap either. Like, it's not like they're not $20, $30. I'm pretty sure it's like, it might be like $70-$80 a pack or something.
More. I'd say like US $99 or something.
I just don't get it. But one thing I just haven't spent enough time across a lot of different types of shoot. But what I really want to get out of looking at the Maston Labs presets is, what are the settings that I'm just going to open up all of the different tabs and just work out what are the things inside them that actually do transfer across multiple images. Because like you said, you'll make you'll do your treatment or whatever in one shoot, and those settings don't even transfer across the same shoot on the same day. It doesn't make any sense.
Dude, yeah, or like, each week I shoot at LSKD, right? We're just doing studio stuff. It's the same every week, same room, same setup, and it doesn't. For me, it's just a whole nother day. But they don't even translate for them either.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's because the garments are different colors each week, but like, sometimes like the settings are the same, and I feel like I can't just click apply, which is super random. Like, I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'm just not good, but it's just like I
I
don't
think everyone
understand.
I think
Yeah,
everyone is
and
the
it's
same.
like,
All of my Capture One
yeah,
using friends and colleagues all say the same thing, that they just don't use styles because they've never been able to make it work the way
nah,
that they want to.
no,
Tell me
yeah,
if this is fair. This sort of sums up my relationship over the years between Lightroom and Capture One. And to be honest, like there's a lot of people offering Lightroom presets, especially at the moment. And not to be judgmental. Everyone is entitled to their own thing and their own look, but there's a lot of pretty bad ones. There's a lot I see on there that is, you know, not to throw anyone under the bus, but I know people that are like travel vloggers. They're not photographers.
yeah,
They just see this as the easiest way to make something that they can sell. And don't get me wrong, I
exactly.
would love to put some Capture One styles or some Lightroom presets up online. I think once I figure out my own look a bit more, and what I want
Yeah,
to actually get out of photos, I would love to eventually have, okay, this is what I do for this sort of shoot, this is what I do for this sort of shoot, but I would not be comfortable doing that unless it was honed and honed and honed and honed, unless
yeah,
I was so confident and so comfortable in what I was doing and what I was creating. And not just that, I
exactly.
felt like I had a style to offer. Whereas
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
moment, every preset pack I see is kind of like that real. Who was the first guy? You know that guy Sam Calder? Do you remember him on
Yeah,
Instagram a few
yeah,
years
yeah,
ago? He was
yeah, yeah,
huge a few years ago. And I feel like he has spawned that many clones of that real heavy orange and teal.
yeah,
Even like a lot of I think he used to do the travel stuff, but there's also like the cyberpunky nighttime,
ah, yeah,
those
yeah,
sort of grades as well. There's a lot of that going around, and yeah, it's not very exciting
yeah.
anymore.
No, well, I bought a yeah, I think it was like a collab where all these influencers had, it might have been 80 or 100 presets, right, from like 10 to 20 different to influencers or Instagram people. And one of them was like a really respected photographer. Well, I respect them, and I was like, well, cool. Like, I'd love to just see how they, set up their Lightroom.
Yeah,
And so I bought this pack. It was probably on sale because they always are. But
yeah,
I went down and I was just clicking through, and I got through all of the presets, and they were all they were just bad.
yeah,
Like, for someone who uses the for my job, I literally ripped apart all these presets and was just like, clearly these people were just clicking shit because none of it made sense,
yeah,
and because and I just don't truly believe that they've actually sold their product.
yeah,
But that's the thing for me because um, a lot of people, they'll retouch it or grade it, but like I feel like what was purchased was not a true indication of how they would grade something
yeah.
or edit it. Like, so
I think
yeah,
a big trick that I see with these, because I've like you just said, I've, to be honest, more out of curiosity than anything, because there was this one company, I don't even want to mention them. There was this one
yeah,
company that
yeah.
was targeting and retargeting me so aggressively that I was like, they're spending a fortune on their marketing budget. I really want to know if these presets are worth their weight. And you know, they had some deal
Yeah.
where it was like, I think it was like, it might have been $30, $40 maybe tops, and it was like, it might have been a Black Friday sale or something, and it's like, we'll give you every
Yeah.
single pack. You know, you can get the whole
Oh,
library
yeah.
for $40. And, you know, I
Yeah.
think normally they might be, you know, let's say $20, $30
$100. Oh,
for
yeah.
6
Yeah.
or 7 different packs. And
Yeah.
whatever it was, I can't remember. Anyway, I was like, no harm in trying. I'm just going to see what they look like. And like you said, you know, you get 80 different presets. Didn't like
Yeah.
any of them, right? And, you know, one interesting thing is, it's funny how we were happy to spend money and buy something like Maston Labs. That's on the high end of presets. You know, they're 135 Australian dollars or something, and they offer,
Yeah.
what is it, 3 different looks, 3 different variations. You know, plus the settings that come with them. But you know, more is not better. You know, how can you possibly have honed and, you know, perfected 80 different presets?
But it's not even about more. It's just like, I just feel like the product, every time I've bought a preset pack or even some stuff for video animation and all that, I get it, and it's just not usable. You know, I'm like,
Yeah.
well, I just wanted the product. I clicked on the thing. You sold me on a rad video, and it's actually it's not usable. Like, it doesn't look like that. So, yeah,
But, you
I don't
know,
know.
the
But I mean, like
sell a
the
lot of the
Maston Labs
time,
one is pretty good.
you don't seem
And
as
I feel
thrilled
like
as
there's
I
a
am.
dude
I'm super hyped on these.
I'm not. I'm gonna send you my preset, and then
Okay.
and then you can just decipher it, and you can see how maybe little I've adjusted as well, but to achieve a similar look. But a guy who I really do froth is Ezra Cohen. So he
Okay.
must have did band clips and stuff like that. So for video, I feel like he's got a lot of little quirky elements and graphics that I've actually really enjoyed. Using randomly, but you can't use it for every job unless you know, I'm going to be a music video dude. But you
Yeah.
know, there's just some of those I've really enjoyed, but everyone else I've never really found something I liked.
So here, let me try and sum it up for you. This is how I think I nearly got to this before, but I got distracted like I do. But this is how I sort of think about Lightroom versus Capture One. Lightroom, you can polish turds with, right? You can make, in my opinion, a subpar photo look pretty good. In Capture One, you can make a good photo look excellent.
Yeah,
Do you reckon that's fair?
it is, but yeah, Capture One, you got to take the good photo first.
That's
Like
right.
Lightroom, you can slide enough stuff around and make it look $1 million. Whereas yeah, Capture One, you need to know what you're doing to get the best out of it.
Yeah.
You can't just click around and make it look good.
You
Like, you
can't.
need to light it properly, or you need to take
Yeah.
a good photo. Yeah.
Yeah. I 100% agree. I've never been able to. Some of the photos that I would look at, you know, raw and think that is unusable, you know, with a film simulation or whatever the presets that I used to use on Lightroom, you know, I'd be like, that is super passable. I can rescue that. You know, I'd be happy to send that to the client. But I've just never been able to rescue photos in the same way in Capture One. It's like, if you're not starting from if you're not starting with good, at least good, you can't make it great. Whereas
Yeah.
Lightroom, I can go from subpar to good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I
that's
agree.
how I sort of think about it.
So that's probably why a lot of professionals have been so excited when they move to Capture One to realize the power that it actually has. You know.
Yeah. Are you on Capture 122 at the moment?
I think so. I think I might have upgraded. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I pay a yearly thing, and then
Okay. Yeah.
because I had I had an issue with Capture 21 the first maybe month with it wasn't connected to my camera properly.
Yeah. Okay.
So I just went back and I was using Capture 120.
Yeah.
But so now I've got both of them on there. But no, I think I'm just using 21. I think, yeah, I haven't upgraded. I don't think.
I'm on 22, but I
No,
found the same issues with 21. And do you find it randomly crashes once or twice a day?
no, it's been good. But 21, I feel no, I don't think it's ever randomly crashed. No, I was just having connection issues. I think when 21 first came out. Um, but no, I've also changed my. I invested in a tethered tools cable, which I'd had previously, but it broke and it's really expensive for what it is. But
Yeah,
I just decided to invest in one USB-C to C, so
yeah,
it's
I
it's
did the
going
same.
really well.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I've just had a few little buggy issues with it, to be honest. And I know
Yeah,
it's not the computer because I have it at home on my computer on the MacBook, and then I have an iMac at work, and I've had the same issues with both. And
yeah,
Jared's had the same issue as well. So yeah,
mm,
there's a few little things that I have found that are not completely to my satisfaction. If I'm being fussy looking at it, but
yeah,
uh, to be honest, with the stuff that I've been shooting lately, I have been very happy to leave Lightroom behind. And yeah, I don't want to talk about it for too much longer, but one thing particularly with this wedding that I just shot on the weekend that we were talking about before we started recording, I find that I find it very difficult to sort photos in Lightroom, to go through and make your selections, and then to um, separate them into different groups, because I know you can do, stars or colors or whatever, but in the little film strip that you have, it's like you can't actually just eliminate all the other photos. It's like you have to just put them to the ascending order or descending order and just have them at one side of the film strip, right?
no, with Capture One, are you talking
No, no,
about?
I'm talking about Lightroom now. Sorry,
Uh, um,
sorry, did I say Capture One? I meant Lightroom.
yeah, yeah, you can just sort it by rating, right, or by color, or yeah, I think you can ascending, like if you went from 1 star to 5.
Yeah, you can, but it's like you can't just say, okay, now I want to see all of the 2 stars, or I want to see all the 2 star and red,
Yeah, you
or
can.
you can in
Yeah.
Lightroom.
Yeah. So down the bottom, yeah, it's just literally you click on the stars, and then I think there's a little symbol that looks like greater than or equals,
Okay.
and then you can click on that, and then yeah. But to be honest, dude, I never. I think it was when I was maybe the second year in shooting, and it was taking me so long to edit and sort in Lightroom that I actually, when I was studying photography, one of the teachers was like, "Oh, why are you doing that? Like, why aren't you using Bridge?" And I was like, "Why would I use Bridge? Bridge sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Like, it's free with the Adobe thing, and
Yeah.
I've never opened it or even downloaded it, but." Bridge is a game changer. Like it renders previews quicker than you can click next.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what I do for all weddings and stuff. It's just like you can literally hold down right and then just 5 star whatever you want. Like the second you see it, and it'll hold that rating. But dude, there's no way I'm ever selecting in Lightroom. No, that would take 10 times the amount of time you need.
Yeah.
Yeah, so even Capture One's pretty good actually with selecting. So
Yeah.
if I go through a whole shoot, then I can just go down and star whatever I need. But yeah, Lightroom is so slow and laggy. Like I'd say it's been 4 years since I've
Okay.
made selections in Lightroom. Yeah, because Bridge, dude. I do you use Bridge?
I don't use it for selections, but I actually do use Bridge a little bit if I ever have to do, battery sizing, battery naming, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
Or even just
yeah.
like going through folders on the computer, and, it's so easy to just whip it into Photoshop from Bridge. And, I've used it a little bit, and maybe not to its fullest potential by the sounds of it.
Exactly. Like I I was in talks with Sony to do another, like, you know this is how you use the camera a day, or whatever it is, this is how you shoot sports.
Yeah.
And I was saying to them that I really want to show people my workflow, because I
Mm.
feel like that is my most powerful element. It's not even taking the photo or editing. It's like my workflow that I've curated over the years.
Mm.
It's like, man, that's what I pride myself on, is like getting the images from the camera to the final result.
Yeah.
Because especially with using, A7R4 or something, with it being 60 megapixels, they're large files
Mm.
just to start off with. So, but Bridge is a game changer. Like, just the efficiency of selecting and moving and sorting files before you even edit. Like, it's
Interesting. Okay.
yeah.
I'll look
I
into
would
it.
say yeah, Bridge. Just yeah. I should definitely do like a little reel just to say, oh, look how easy it is to scrap Lightroom from doing any selects and actually use Bridge. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right. I'll look into that. That sounds like good content. Okay, I've got a couple of other. Let's move away from the Capture One thing for now. I've got a couple of just very little short things that I want to just get in before the end here. Firstly, I want to say that I've been uploading photos to a blog. I haven't been telling anyone about it, but I've been shooting. Pretty much every day off, I've been shooting something with my little Fuji camera, and 3 or 4 times I've just jotted down my thoughts, put up some photos on a little blog. If anyone is interested to check it out, because I'm not going to push it too hard, it's on bigpantsphoto.com/blog, I'm pretty sure. And if you want to see photos, JPEGs straight off the camera, there's usually a paragraph or two of just, stream of consciousness stuff. Sometimes, I don't know, I really like writing. Sometimes it's just nice to get some words, some things out of your head. Yeah. I have a little journaling practice that I do every night, which I feel like would have been quite daggy to say a few years ago, but now it's like quite a trendy thing. And just to get, the tangle of things from your head onto a bit of paper or onto a blog post or something, I've been really enjoying it, getting some value out of it. So if anyone's interested, my Fuji pics have been going up on the Big Pants Photo website. I've also been using, after raving about Classic Chrome, I think I've already started to move away from Classic Chrome, and I've been using some of the Astia profiles, actually, the Fuji Astia.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Are you familiar with that film at all?
Is the Astia like the softer like look?
It is. It's softer, but it's also a little bit more colorful. It's I suppose it's like somewhere in between. Let's say somewhere in between like a Portra and a Velvia. Do you know what Velvia looks like?
Yeah.
It's like very saturated.
Yeah.
Do you know what Velvia reminds me of? Ken Rockwell.
He's good.
Do you remember? No, he's a weapon. But do you remember the stuff that he used to put on his? Did you used to look at his website for lens reviews and stuff?
No. Yeah, just for lens reviews. Yeah.
I used to do the exact same about 7 or 8 years ago. I used to, every time I would, find something that I was looking at, I'd go and check out Ken Rockwell's reviews, because he had that SEO shit on lock, like from early days.
Yeah.
Like he must have made a killing.
Yeah.
But he's got this funny little like way of editing his photos, and it's like a super old guy. Whenever I talk about old guy photographers, I think of people in grey vests with lots of pockets, and that's very much Ken Rockwell. He's like the sort of the poster boy of that, old head, old guy generation of photographers. And he's sort of got this like cute old guy way of editing his photos, which I think looks very much like Velvia. It's like when you first learn how to use Photoshop or whatever, and like the first thing you're going to do is just like crank that saturation slider.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's somewhere between that and like a Portra or something else, which has sort of like softer pastel tones, but it's still a little bit vibrant, which I really like. Anyway, the last couple of posts that I've done on my website, I think, have been Astia, or at least the last one has been. Yeah. Yeah, have you been shooting your Fuji camera at all? Or haven't had time?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, yeah. So my brother come up. We had a funeral this week, but yeah, my brother came up for that, and his daughter came up. So I haven't seen him in like, I don't know, 8 months, I would say, because of the border restrictions
Yeah,
and stuff. And man, I just loved, capturing her running around, like, or even in the bath, splashing around. It was just cute, and I feel like that's where that camera really comes
yeah,
into its own, is just capturing those moments, or it's real documentary. Which, like, when I first picked up a camera, I never liked that documentary
yeah,
style. I was always drawn to more like high end portraits and stuff, but um, I feel like I'm steering more and more towards that documentary style. Like,
yeah,
even I've started posting on Instagram with a bit more of a white border, and like a bit more. I feel like I don't even know how to describe it, but it is more documentary style, where it's like the image overall is what I think is great, not the resolution or the sharpness or any of that, So it's more about the feeling in the
the
image,
feeling,
and I
exactly.
think that
Yeah,
that yeah, and for me, that's what I feel like. This year I want to try and focus maybe just more on some more of that documentary style, but then also, yeah, curating my images so then there is that feeling. And there's a dude in America that his name's Steve Enden, or I'll link you to him, but he does it really well, so does the commercial stuff and documentary stuff. But for me, I guess he's maybe my new idol, So I feel like with the Fuji, man, I can capture those kind of moments. And
mm,
again, it's not about pixel peeping, or the image being perfect. It's just about you feel something when you see the image, So
I couldn't agree more. I've been
yeah,
punishing everyone that will listen with
yeah,
with my
I
thoughts on
bet,
his camera. Yeah,
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 absolutely love it. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's more about the feeling and the. I can't put it any better than how you just put it. To be honest, I last night
yeah,
Jem got home late and it was pretty warm, so we went just before sunset. We went for a swim. I took her down the beach, and I was basically
yeah,
wading up to my waist, taking photos of Jem
yeah.
with her
So
enormous
cool.
32-week pregnant belly, and I just
Yeah,
wouldn't do that with my
yeah.
other camera.
No, no, no.
Yeah, yeah,
Exactly, and it's about that experience. Yeah, and also everyone has commented thinking it's a film camera as well. So I like that it's portable and it's small, and yeah, it isn't overpowering in someone's face. So
yeah. Seriously, the joy that this camera has given me already, like it has. One of the things getting back into the channel was a quest to love photography again, and this is, I've been making leaps and bounds.
I'm so glad we had that chat,
Yeah,
and that we both acted on it as well, right?
for sure, for sure.
I think it's yeah.
Well, yeah, it was you impulsing it. That's what pushed me over the edge because it's been something that I've been thinking about for years, but I could never ever justify spending that money
Yeah,
when I could instead get a nice prime for my Sony, or put money
exactly.
aside for this or whatever. But anyway,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, it's paid for itself already in my mind. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
All right, mate. We'll leave it there. Any takers for tool of the week this week?
Yes, so the tool of the week actually is something that's charging my laptop right now, but it's just a portable power brick, right? So this one's, I think, the max size you can take on an airplane. I had one. I don't really use the wireless charge feature because it charges really slow, but it has a couple of USB-C and then a USB whatever that is. Is that
Yep,
what they're called, the old
yep,
one?
yep.
Um, also comes with like an inbuilt, like, well, there's a little cable there that you can use, so you don't have to carry around excess cables.
Mate, that's
So
awesome.
it's really good for me, especially when I was traveling a lot to, if I need to upload stuff. The drive from my house to Brisbane is an hour.
Mm,
So for me to be able to upload on the drive home, but still have my laptop charged is amazing,
huge, huge.
because yeah, it's all about that efficiency. So for me to have something that's powerful enough to actually charge anything I want. I don't really use it for my phone or anything like that, but I do charge the Fuji camera off this as well.
Yeah, okay.
So just little USB-C, and it's great. So it's really good. But I had one of these, and I had it on the dash of my car. And in Queensland or even Australia, it's just the hottest country ever. So it actually, like any battery, you shouldn't have it in the heat. But man, it actually ballooned up, and
Oh shit.
it didn't explode, but it fully separated and like just blew off the outer casing. Yeah, so it was like a pillow inside. So I don't even know what's in the batteries, but yeah, don't leave it in the sun.
Oh shit. Yeah,
That's the only tip.
that's
Yeah.
serious. That's why you can't take them on planes anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So the size is actually the size that is legally allowed on a plane. But yeah, if you had it anywhere else or whatever, and it was gonna expand or explode, like, yeah, I imagine it could be, yeah, very dangerous. But yeah, that's my tool of the week. It's helped me a lot, especially with my last MacBook, the 2018 one. It was terrible with charge. Like, it was
I've
so
got the
bad.
same. It's shocking. It's the worst, best computer I've ever
Yeah.
had. Like I spec this thing out, and off the charger,
Yeah.
it dies in less than an hour.
Oh, easy. I reckon mine would be like working or uploading stuff, like 25 minutes would have been the max. But I have the 2019 one or 2020 one, and that works pretty well. But Kara just got the brand new one, and dude, that holds charge for like a year. They're crazy.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I reckon next
yeah, what's
year.
what?
I reckon I'll look to get. Anyway, we'll talk about that another time. Tool of the week.
Yeah.
My tool of the week is I went against your advice and I bought a Sony branded flash.
It for me, they are great. They're the greatest thing ever. It's just really hard to justify a lot of native products with any camera company, because they are more expensive. But you're right. Like, you did the right thing, I think.
I only did it because there was the in my opinion, there's a couple of really good times in a year to buy Sony products. When the retailers, when they have their sale and that lines up with Sony cashback time as
Yeah,
well, you can
yeah,
like
it's awesome. Yeah,
get some really good prices on stuff. So I think this is probably like a $700 flash, and I think it cost about 450 or 400 or something like
yeah,
that. So the other one, the Godox one that you use with the round,
yeah,
what
yeah.
was it, the V1 or something? That was
V1. Yeah,
that was
yeah,
definitely the next in line. But the only reason I didn't go for those is because you have to use the lithium batteries, and I really wanted to use AA. Or does your one take AA's?
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, no, it uses lithium. I like that, because with every other flash I've ever had, I was using the double A's and I didn't know how charged they were, and then I was just buying new ones every shoot just in case.
Yeah,
So I felt like I was spending a lot of money, um, just for the fact that, like, I wanted them to be fresh and last the
yeah,
night.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I've got a ton of really good quality rechargeable double
yeah,
A's, and it just didn't make sense to buy the flash and then have to buy three $80 batteries for it as well. So yeah,
yeah,
shot a wedding with this bad boy on the weekend, and it didn't miss a trick, and I didn't even change batteries once. It was fantastic. Loved
yeah,
it. The last thing that I want to say before we leave is I reckon maybe sometime in the next few weeks we should try doing a live stream. We should try doing the podcast live, just streaming it to the YouTube channel, or even just inviting people to the Discord server. And,
Yeah, cool.
we could get people to ask questions or just leave comments or be involved. I think that'd be fun. So
Yeah.
maybe we'll figure that out for the next few weeks. But until then, that's it. See you next time.
That's it.
Give us a bit of a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you later.